Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday morning. Hope you're well, hope you look forward to a good day and you're looking for some good transfer news. I might have some. I might not have as much as you think though. So we're going to be talking a little bit around Gonçalo Inacio, the Sporting Lisbon centre-back, as well as Conor Gallagher and the fact that Spurs might have had another lane opened to the Conor Gallagher pursuit. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. Just to say, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let's jump in with the Gonçalo Inacio news. And I've got a couple of little bits for you. And I'm going to start with the one that I saw first. And that was that came from the Sunday Mirror. And they said that Arsenal are set to activate the £51 million release clause for Sporting Lisbon defender Gonçalo Inacio in a January swoop. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world right now. Hear me out before you jump down my throat. It maybe does show that, you know, our interest lays elsewhere. Now, I've seen this thing with Morato, and it's like 30 million euros. I don't see that for a second being true. Not when they turn down even more than that in the summer and said we want the release clause paid. I still think they're going to want the release clause paid, not played. But on you know, you have that. You have the Jean-Claude Todibo, the fact that, you know, we have spoken to Todibo as representatives. He's interested in the move. We're interested in the move. It's kind of Nice in the middle now, not nice, Nice, to see if we can get the deal sorted. But on Inacio, and if you know, look, I've got another post here to talk about in a second about him, but if it was that he was going elsewhere, in a weird way, we still keep our percentage in Marcus Edwards, right? Again, hear me out. They want to actually increase his release clause. They actually want to give him a new contract, increase his release clause, which in turn, when he does get sold, we could get a bigger chunk of money potentially. It's something. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing, but it's something, you know. But Ekram Conor said that Tottenham, Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City are competing to sign Sporting Lisbon Portuguese defender Gonçalo Inacio. Look, I mean, throw Chelsea in and then that is England's top big six. Well, not top, but they're the big six. Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, look, he's a new young thing out of Portugal. When you look at those teams, if you look at Manchester United need centre-backs. I mean, they're looking to probably get rid of Varane. You got Maguire, not really that impressed by Maguire at all. You got Lindelof, who's a bit meh. You've got Johnny Evans, who seems to be the best of the three at 35, 36. Was pretty good against Liverpool, by the way, you know, because they sat on the 18-yard box. You look at Arsenal probably don't need him as much, but they still need depth at the defensive area because you think you lost Timber for a long-term injury. Tomiyasu seems to pick up a lot of injuries. You got Gabriel, you got Saliba, and you got White, who seems to play right back. So actually, you could do with another centre back because I think they're looking to move on Kivior in January and loan. So, you know, okay, could work for them. You look at Liverpool. Liverpool have got obviously Virgil van Dijk and they've got Konate, but Matip got a long-term injury. So, you know, they probably need to get back into the centre-half market. Bingo, bango. And then Manchester City. Of all teams, you don't really think they need him, but you could see it. You just could see it. And for us, obviously, we know about us. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that is a really unlikely deal now compared to a Morato, Todibo, Kelly. You know, I think they're the three most likely of them all. Because, I mean, I think Sebastian Cáceres' news is completely dried up as well, thinking about it. So, yeah, potentially those three are the main three now. And I think if you get one of the first two, the Morato or the Todibo, I think Lloyd Kelly is a free transfer signing in the summer. I genuinely do think that. I think you can get the deal agreed in January for the summer. That's how I think about it. Let's talk Conor Gallagher. And again, got a couple of little bits and bobs for you. And I want to start with the Fabrizio Romano post where he had Pochettino's quotes on Gallagher. And he said on the contract, the contract is due to expire in 2025. He said, "This club's decision, not mine. He's in the starting 11. It's in nearly all the games and is one of the captains. For me, he's the type of player that the club needs to have as he knows the identity of the club." Well, I mean, Chelsea have about 3,000 youth players that are all out on loan. They all know what the identity of the club looks like, and it didn't stop them moving on Mason Mount, didn't stop them moving on Fikayo Tomori or Tammy Abraham. So, you know, Poch, you have to realise, mate, that's kind of irrelevant. And then from Simon Johnson in The Athletic, who covers Chelsea, he said that sources say Chelsea are prepared to listen to bids for Conor Gallagher next month and are looking for a sum in excess of £40 million. So, I always keep going back to the David Ornstein quotes where he talks about the fact that Spurs may have to get creative in this market. They may not have a lot of money to spend. And I'm thinking more and more about that. I'm thinking about the deals that we want to try and get done. And I think Samuel Willing Jr. is still the attacker, the winger attacker thing, majiggy that you want to call it. I think that's where we're going. Because it's cheap, it's £15 million, and you probably get a loan with an obligation to buy. Because I think Juventus probably would play ball with that. Juventus and Spurs got that relationship. They did it with Kulusevski. There's evidence they could do it again. You look at the fact they want a centre-half. I think the centre-half, I don't know, I just feel like you can't get as creative with Tadibo. I feel like Nice might want the money there and then. Especially Ratcliffe's going to want the money there and then because he's buying 25% of Man United and he's the guy that owns Nice. But also they are having a very good season. They're going to want to replace them there and then, right? With a central midfielder like Gallagher, and let's say it's 40 million, I just got a feeling Chelsea are going to want that now. They're going to want it early doors. I just don't know. Unless they borrow for later and buy now, and potentially say, like, next summer we don't have as much money because we're going to borrow a little bit from there and play it here. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But you're not going to buy all of these in January. You're not spending, let's say, 35 on Tadibo, 15 on Illing Jr., and then 40 million on Gallagher. We're not spending 90 million in this window. So to make that work, you've got to get creative. You've got to get deals that are going to go, look, we're going to buy him, but we're going to give you the money in the summer onwards, you know? And that you could do that with Tadibo. And, you know, in that case, sometimes you might actually have to spend an extra few quid. Maybe you say, look, it said 35, it's 40. We're going to give you 5 million now, though. And we'll continue the 35, maybe it's that. You know, with Illing Jr., I think it's quite a cheap deal. I think Juventus could be probably persuaded into that. I just don't think Chelsea are going to want to help you when they need the money now to go and get the striker. And that's the thing. They want to cash in on Conor Gallagher purely because they need to go buy the striker. And then my last little bit, it came from Football Insider. It's exclusive and it came out literally 4 minutes before I started this. Let's call it 12 minutes ago. He said that West Ham pulled the plug on the Conor Gallagher deal. So, the reason why I said at the start of the video it might open up a different lane, that was the lane that was opening. If you were talking about other teams that maybe are dropping out of the race, Chelsea might have to start looking at Spurs and going, we want the striker. We don't want to sell to you, but we really want that striker. So to get that striker, we're going to have to sell to you. And to be honest, doesn't mean the striker's going to work. I mean, Victor Osimhen is unreal, and he probably would, but it doesn't mean it's going to. They've had other strikers before. They got rid of Drogba, thinking they had the strikers. Then they had to bring Drogba back years later when he was old because he still couldn't find a striker. So, I don't know. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section, like your thoughts and feelings. Look, you've got the situation with Conor Gallagher that I just talked about, but also the Gonçalo Inacio news. What are your thoughts and feelings about both of those? Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.